When you're purchasing a tax lien certificate, you're actually paying someone else's property tax. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, you'd want to do that because you're going to get a high rate of return. Welcome back. Today's episode is all about investing in tax lien certificates. For newcomers, investing in tax lien certificates is a great way to get started. Why do I say that? Because it's, in my opinion, a safe and a secure investment, and it's protected by the property tax code. You invest for the county, you're going to get your check back from the county. So what is the county going to do? They're going to take that money to pay bills, and I'll get into that in a minute. But what they're going to issue is a tax lien certificate. So you're investing in the local government, you can expect the local government to pay you back after the people pay their taxes. Now, like any investment, you want your money returned. So that's always a good idea, but you want a return on your investment. When you're purchasing a tax lien certificate, you're actually paying someone else's property tax. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, you'd want to do that because you're going to get a high rate of return. Some people say it's an outrageous rate of return. Now, the reason you're doing this is you want that high rate of return, and the taxpayer that didn't pay, the delinquent property owner, when they pay their taxes, they'll pay you all the money that they owe, plus you'll earn an outrageously high interest rate. Now, the big question always is, what happens to the money? Well, the county takes that money and they pay bills with it. But what you want to know is what happens if the property owner doesn't pay you. And so that's a big concern. Well, what will happen is, don't worry, because this system has been around for decades. Now, the county is following the rules set by the state. And the state, all 50 states, they have rules. And the rules are pushed down to the Board of Supervisors, and they tell the treasurer what to do. And what really is going to happen, if the property owner does not pay, you have a certificate that says they will pay. If they don't pay, then the county, and there'll be a foreclosure will take place, and you'll end up owning the property because they didn't pay the tax. All right, so the consequence of not paying a property tax bill is the property owner who defaults is forfeiting the property. And so then that means it will go through a foreclosure process, and because you own the tax lien certificate, you will now own that property after the foreclosure property. Now, ultimately, when that property is foreclosed on, the mortgage and the deed of trust will be wiped off the property. So that's really going to make it a pretty good deal for you as the buyer of that tax lien certificate. All right, now there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of stories surrounding this business, but this is the real deal. Counties all across the United States, all 1,500 counties, sell tax lien certificates. Now, there's 3,000 plus counties, but about 1,500 of those counties are benevolent, and before the property is forfeited and it's confiscated, they sell a tax lien certificate. So in those 1,500 counties, you can buy a tax certificate, and that means that they're not going to take the property away from that property owner. Now, why are we buying these tax lien certificates? Because you want to earn a high interest rate. For example, in Arizona, they can pay up to 16%. In Florida, 18%. In Iowa, 24%. I'm sure you're getting the idea. And it's all the way up to an outrageous amount of 36% in Illinois. So people buy tax lien certificates so they can generate money. Is it safe? I think it's safe because you invest for the county. If you don't get paid, you're going to get the property. When you get the property, it's not going to have a mortgage. It's not going to have a deed or trust on it. So we're talking about tax lien certificates. Now, what do you get when you buy a tax lien certificate? You just get a piece of paper. Now, that piece of paper authorizes you to collect money. Okay, now that document does not allow you to go on the property, does not allow you to charge the owner rent, does not allow you to do anything with regard to the property. You have no right to the property. What you have a right to is to collect that high, outrageous interest rate, and that's all you're going to get. Now, if you don't get the outrageous interest rate and you don't get paid, then you're going to get the property. So put that in the back of your mind. So this is a good investment. Tax lien certificates rarely end up with the certificate owner. 97% of all these certificates will pay you back. You're going to get your money back, so you'll send the certificate back to them. As a matter of fact, they do it all electronically now, and they send you a notice on your cell phone. You see it right on your cell phone. They just deposit the money in your account. All right, so the county sells certificates to anybody that wants to go to the auction. It's a public auction. They announce it on the county website. They announce it in the newspaper. Anybody that goes to the auction, the successful bidder is usually the one that bids the lowest interest rate. Successful bidder bids the lowest interest rate at tax lien certificates. Now, that's just the opposite of tax defaulted property, where the highest rate is where the highest is. So there's quite a difference in it. All right, so the county is selling the defaulted taxes. All right, the county needs the money. Now, what does the county need money for? The county needs money to pay for the schools, to pay for the school teachers, to pay for the police department, fire department. You're getting the idea. All the county employees. All right, so when the money comes in on a tax lien certificate, what the county's doing with it is they're paying all the county's bills. All right, so they pay the county's bills, so they're happy. You're happy because you own a certificate, you can earn a high interest rate. And if the people pay on time, okay, they're going to pay you whatever is owed on the certificate plus that high interest rate. All right, so keep in mind, you don't hold a certificate for a long time. 97% of the certificates are going to pay you within the 2 or 3 year period of a tax lien certificate. All right, now the United States is divided up into 3,000 counties. All right, all of the counties can confiscate the property, but half of the counties, before that ever takes place, will sell tax lien certificates. All right, those tax lien certificates, if you don't get paid, you get the property. However, in all the other counties, the county government is going to lien the property, and if the people don't pay the notices of default, guess what? The county's going to come along and levy on the property, they're going to confiscate it, and they're going to sell it at a tax defaulted auction. 2 different auctions taking place. Tax lien certificates are sold in 1,500 counties. Tax defaulted properties are sold in all 3,000 counties. All right, so the counties that sell tax lien certificates are considered by me as benevolent counties. In other words, they don't take the people off the property and they don't sell the property. They give them a period of 2 or 3 years to pay their certificates. They can come in and redeem them anytime in 2 to 3 years. All right, when they do redeem them, you're going to get paid. You're going to earn a high interest on that certificate. Nationwide, tax lien certificates and tax defaulted property are big business. You can look on the map and you can see the white circles. In the small counties, a small population county, there will be hundreds of tax defaulted properties for sale and even thousands of tax lien certificates. All right. However, in the large counties, large population that is, there will be a large amount of tax defaulted properties. So if you'd like to know where you can find properties for sale and how many, go right below me, and this interactive map will show you how.